Hello, and welcome. I'm James Thorstenson, and this is my pitch for the Roll of Quarters Rally. I'm here today to talk to you about starting an esports competition. There have been many different kinds recently. Mine, though, is different from the current style out there. I'll look back to the roots of esports, an arcade machine and arcade cabinet based competition. There are barely any classic style arcades left, but the love of the game is still alive in the hearts of the people that grew up playing in the arcades. The competition, Roll of Quarters Rally, is named as such for the quarters players would save up to spend at the arcade on the weekends. The choice venue that I have found for the Roll of Quarters Rally would be the Connecticut Convention Center in Hartford, Connecticut. Utilizing the main convention space will allow room for the tournaments themselves, a vendor area, and a concession area. The convention center has an attached parking garage. There are also a handful of hotels that are within walking distance. Being situated in Hartford, the capital of Connecticut, and in the center of the state, it can be accessed by most of the highways running through Connecticut. For long-distance travelers coming from outer space, the Bradley International Airport lies less than 30 minutes away. The Roll of Quarters Rally would be projected to take place on the weekend following the 4th of July. This coming year, that would be July 8th and 9th of 2023. This would ensure a large crowd seeking fun on a holiday weekend and a chance to get out of the heat. The venue would open its doors at 0900 hours, with the main competition starting at 10 o'clock. Most patrons only participate in the tournament if they have pre-bought the tickets before the event. These tickets would be sold online for $30. Tickets at the door would be available for purchase for $40. The event would be streamed as well. The online viewers who can't attend in person would have a $10 fee for the whole weekend to watch the stream. The tournament themselves, the meat of this event, would be a nod to the days of arcade rivalry and showing your initials at the top of the scoreboard. Saturday, the first day of competition, will hold the Mortal Kombat tournament for players 16 and older. Mortal Kombat is still in the minds of players, with recent releases still drawing players to tournaments. This is the original, the arcade cabinet with joystick and push buttons. The disconnect of player versus player has dematerialized, and now you stand shoulder to shoulder with your opponent. This event would be a single elimination challenge with a 5 to 6 minute rounds. One machine would be a featured machine, and that one will be streamed. After each round, the featured machine will be broken down by a pair of analysts. Throughout the weekend, there will be a 3 to 5 minute window for ad breaks from sponsors every 30 minutes. Finals would be held on the main stage, with 2 players fighting for first and second, obviously, and then another 2 fighting for third. Later, I will break down the winnings between the 3 places. The second day, Sunday, brings Space Invaders for players 13 and older. Space Invaders was one of the first successful large-scale arcade tournaments. There will be 10-minute rounds. Again, 8 machines, but obviously 1 player to each machine. Each player will be tasked to achieve the highest score in 2 minutes. This will be repeated 3 times. The scores would be averaged together, and the 4 lowest scores would be eliminated until only 4 people are left. The final challenge of a single 5-minute round to obtain the highest score would determine the placement of first, second, and third. The awards would be cash prizes for all 3 places. and first place would receive bonus items as well. Starting with the bronze, third place, would receive a $125 cash prize. Second place would receive $250, and first place would receive $500. First place would also receive a t-shirt, one size fits all, so it would come in 2XL, with Roll of Quarters Rally on the front, and on the back would be the game played, an arcade cabinet, and the date and location of the tournament on the bottom of the shirt. Sponsors would be offered to put their names or logos on the sleeves of this shirt. First place would also receive an invitation to return to the next Roll of Quarters Rally, a free ticket and registration to a single tournament of their choice. If, somehow, on Sunday, the first place winner is the same person as Saturday's tournament, the invitation would be given to the second place winner of Sunday's tournament. Outside of the tournaments, there will be a vendor area for merchandise vendors, sponsors, and artists to set up booths. This is where the merchandise booth for the event itself will be. Here, we would sell t-shirts, hats, lanyards, sunglasses, and possibly blue light glasses, depending on budget demands. Also, the sale of water bottles, drawstring bags, buttons, and stickers about the event would be at this booth. Vendors using this area would have to pre-register 2 months ahead of time, the latest. Now, to the nitty-gritty of things. Speaking of budget demands, let's get to the numbers. The plan is for a $50,000 budget. Big numbers. The pricing for the arcade cabinets is as follows. Mortal Kombat, $190 per machine per day, with Space Invaders at $180 per machine per day. Mortal Kombat's total would be about $3,040, and Space Invaders' total would be $2,880 for both days. Luckily, the Connecticut Convention Center will provide for most of the general staffing needs: security, janitors, box office workers, concession staff. They have their own concession stands within the event hall. These position payments would be included in the estimate for renting the space. We would have to provide payments for our judges, our casters, analysts, IT, and production crew. Even though the convention center can provide concessions, I also plan for food trucks to arrive outside each day around 12 noon to 13:30 hours. These trucks would also bring in more people to the event that would see the trucks, stop, get food, and come inside the building where the event is held to get out of the heat. Hopefully pushing more people into the event itself that may have not heard that it was happening in the area. In the venue, we would provide electrical equipment, streaming, and sound equipment. I also want the arcade tournament to have a 90s themed carpet, that space vibe from the arcades that we grew up in. This would help designate the tournament space, as well as a comfortable alternative for the players of the tournament to have, other than the hard concrete floor that is the venue. This event will bring in players from many age groups. From the people who have memories of spending weekends at the arcades, such as myself, to the kids that have only heard of the stories of these getaways from the real world. Parents that want to share these memories of these magical places, these, in some cases, safe places for some of us, with their children. I want to give these players the same enjoyment as they experienced in the past now at the Roll of Quarters Rally. Thank you.